nice. This is the tech department. Yeah. Wait. At the classroom. Permit? Yeah. Seats. All right, the kids are coming in the classroom now. Quietly find a seat.
Okay, shh.
You guys hear there's another, and that's Walton.
Oh my.
What school is it that we're connected to?
And this is Anacapa Island. We're checking with our schools in West Virginia. Which school are we connected to now?
Walton Elementary Middle School.
Walton.
Okay. And Spencer School, are you with us as well, or do we just have Walton? Spencer School is there? If Spencer School is there, give a big shout out. Say Spencer really loud. Okay, and a quick check before we switch over to our Diver Andrea. Since we did have some connection issues on your end and we're running a little late, what is the latest the program can go to on your end? What time do you need to leave the rooms?
We will have.
We have 12 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes. So we're going to throw right to our Diver Andrea. 12 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. Well, hello, Spencer.
Hi.
Walton. How are you? Can I get a big hello from everybody? Fabulous. I am so glad we were finally able to connect with you way over in West Virginia. We are here off the coast of California, diving off of Anacapa Island here in Channel Islands National Park in a place called the Landing Cove. And we are visiting an ecosystem today that is one of the most complex and diverse in all of the world's oceans. And it all centers around this forest that I'm surrounded by. And I'm wondering if all of you can shout out, what kind of forest is it that we're visiting today? Beautiful. I heard seaweed, but then I heard giant kelp, which is exactly what this is. The kelp forest is home to over 1,000 different species of fish and invertebrates that use it for food and for shelter. And in order to understand how all of the life that lives here works together to create a healthy, balanced ecosystem, we're going to spend some time looking at the kelp itself, along with the animals that live inside it, and then talk about some of the threats facing this ecosystem, as well as some ways that you and I can help make a positive difference. So you guys ready to start looking at the kelp itself?
Yeah!
Kelp is pretty amazing as a seaweed. Instead of being a tree like you're used to seeing in a regular forest that has a strong trunk, look at the pliable stipes that the kelp forest has instead. And that helps it move with the motion of the ocean rather than just bending and breaking off. Now it also has these beautiful blades that are buoyed up towards the surface using these air-filled bladders called nematocysts. And that helps the whole structure get pushed up towards the surface. And what is it up there at the surface that the kelp needs in order to survive? Sunlight. You guys are so quick. Exactly. It needs sunlight in order to photosynthesize and create energy for all of the other animals in the ecosystem. Now, if it's providing food for everything else, what role does it then play in the ecosystem? Is it a consumer? Is it a producer? Is it a decomposer?
Producer.
It's producing energy other plants and animals. As part of photosynthesis, it's also producing oxygen, which we all need in order to survive as well. So we're part of this kelp forest ecosystem too. Now let's go ahead and sink down to the base here, Josh, and see if we can find some of the animals that consume the kelp. And I'm wondering...
Haley Sloan to the officer by Sloan.
If we look at the base, it'd be a little tough for me to find one. Maybe right now, Josh, we can look at the hold vest down here at the base and see how the kelp attaches to the rocky substrate. Rather than having roots that go into the ground, the kelp just attaches to the rocks. This one has a pretty small one. And that helps keep it buoyed solidly there as the waves move around. You can see there's actually a lot of wave motion. A little bit tough to see. So maybe instead, we'll go to one of the consumers here of the kelp. Do any of you know the name of this creature right here? It is. This is a red sea urchin, and they are perfectly adapted for feeding on the kelp. You can see the spines there, but what I'm not sure, in between the spines, can you see some little suction cup tube feet wiggling around? Those tube feet will grab the blades of the kelp and then move them down to their mouth, which is right in the center, and eat, especially the drift kelp that gets torn away from the main plant. Now these urchins, while playing a really important role in keeping the kelp population down, are also eaten by other fish, but you and I as well. Has anybody had sushi before? Your favorite food, huh? Well, there's a type of sushi called uni that's actually very popular. So sea urchins are harvested by fishermen here locally. It's one of the top 5 fisheries in our area. So they play an important role in our economy here. Now I'm going to set this urchin back down in the rocks and make sure it's attached so the fish can't grab it. And let's see what else we might have to share with you. Well, Josh and I are kind of attached to one place because of all the cables with the camera and the microphones. We have some support divers who have been out looking around for other animals. And I'm not sure. I'm having trouble seeing right now. Come on in, I guess. And let's see what we... Oh, look at what they found for us. Wow. Thanks. What's this? Lobster. This is a bit different from a lobster that you'll see on the East Coast. Do you notice how it doesn't have claws? Instead, it has those long antennae and lots of spines all over the front of it. It's called a California spiny lobster. And these guys play an important role in the ecosystem as well as predators as well as scavengers. And if we look here, this one is actually a male. If I can get it to let go of me. The California lobsters are better known for their tails. That's what the part that's harvested for fisheries. And this one's a male. It's got these really small swimmerets that tell us it's a male lobster. is another one of the top 5 fisheries here around the Channel Islands because they are so popular for people to eat. Now, they are also eaten by quite a few different fish that live in the area, so I don't want to set it down because usually these guys sleep during the day and they come out at night to feed. They're nocturnal. So if I let it go right now, it's going to be susceptible to predation by fish. So I'm going to give it back to Ian to go safely put it back in one of the caves for us. And make sure it survives another night. Now, before we move on, I wanted to ask, do any of you have any questions about what we are doing or seeing down here today? Anyone have a question?
Go ahead.
Why are you not seeing so many fish and animals there? Like,
The fish sometimes get scared by our bubbles and don't come in close to the camera. We'll hope, though, that at some point we'll start seeing some. But there's actually a lot down here. In fact, look at what one of our other divers has found. Oh my goodness! What is this, you guys? Isn't looking, he is not happy that we have grabbed him. Look at this one does have claws, doesn't it? And it is out to get me. This one's also a male. Has that small triangular tail. They call these sheep crabs or decorator crabs. And you can see it's got lots of great colors on it. And a lot of times they will actually plant little pieces of kelp all over their back so that they camouflage really well. So let me set it down and you can kind of watch it walk around. And when it gets down into the rocks, it's really good at looking just like rocks here under all the kelp. Now, crab is another really popular food. So this is another one of the big fisheries locally. Luckily here, where we're diving today, the whole area is protected as a marine reserve. So for over 30 years, there's been no collecting, no fishing allowed here in the landing cove. So all of these animals you've seen so far have been really big, really healthy, part of a well-balanced ecosystem. And I'm wondering if you guys can think for a minute about what kinds of things might impact this healthy ecosystem. There's natural things, for example, weather events like this El Nino we've had over the last year. If you can believe it, 6 months ago this whole kelp forest was completely gone because the warm water had an impact on it. That's a natural event, but what would be some human impacts that might also affect this ecosystem? Can you think of some things we humans do that are bad for the ocean?
an oil spill.
Oil spill would be a big negative impact. Can you think of any others? Trash. Yes, marine debris is a huge issue. We talked a bit about fishing. That can be an impact too if we don't have good regulations. Or things like introduced species, plants or animals that come into the area that were never here before. Those could all have an impact. And Josh, they were asking about fish. Out of the corner of my eye, I actually saw a bit of a flash. I think if we swim up over the top here, we might actually be able to share with you one of California's most popular fishes. Let's see if we can catch sight of it there. Take us just a second, I think, to get up here. And while we're swimming up there, when did you guys start thinking about ways we might be able to help this ecosystem? Oh, it might have swam away already. Yeah, it was just here. It may come back. We'll keep the camera close by just in case, but keep your eyes out for a bright orange flash. I saw it swim up to an area where it usually has its nest, but then oh, there it is. It was tucked back in the nest. Yeah? Does anybody know the name of that fish? You got it. That's right. The Garibaldi is actually California's state marine fish. It's protected because of that. Oh, he's going to come get you. He is actually protecting a nest right now that's tucked back in the rocks. And that's why he's so brightly colored. As a warning that he's going to be really aggressive if you were to come get his eggs. And he'll protect the nest until all those babies hatch and swim away. Beautiful look there. Now he is protected not just because of his status as our state fish, but also because he's here in the Marine Reserve. And think about it for just a minute here. When I just talked about how all of our kelp had disappeared for about 6 months, how would we know if that was a natural event like an El Nino or a negative impact from something we talked about like pollution or oil spills? We have to study it to know what is going on. And so there are scientists that monitor the kelp forest here around the islands regularly to see what's going on. And as part of the research they did, they were able to actually establish a whole network of marine protected areas around the Channel Islands that now protects 20% of the area, not just the landing zone here. So that's something that the scientists could do to help protect the oceans here locally. But what are some things we could do to protect oceans all over the world? I give you guys a chance to think about it for a minute. Have you come up with some ideas of what you could do?
We cannot litter.
That is a great one. Not littering, because even if you don't live right by the ocean, every creek and river in all of the land ends up in an ocean somewhere. So that litter could end up there too. What's something else we could do?
Can't put like pop cans that are half full of water because that'll damage it.
I had trouble hearing that one.
Can't put pop cans that are half full because that might put like extra chemicals in water that.
I'm sure it's a really good idea. I'm just really struggling to hear that one. So I appreciate though all of the thought you put into it. There's quite a few different ways. Even things like minimizing your carbon footprint. So riding your bike or walking instead of getting into a car. Choosing sustainable fish if you choose to eat seafood. That's another good way. Lots of good ways. Now I am so impressed with how much you guys know about our favorite ecosystem here in Channel Islands National Park, the kelp forest. You had some great answers, some great ideas on ways to protect the oceans. Not just so we have places to go surf and swim, but also so that we have that oxygen to breathe or the food we need on our tables. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and have to say goodbye and head up to the surface. Let's leave Islands National Park.